Welcome back again to the channel, Cannon Fodder TV. My name is Alex, and yeah, we are back, Cannon Fodder TV. Some live news. So yesterday I did a live, actually went live twice, in the morning with my brother Ralph, and then in the evening. And yeah, people, how can I say this? We kind of got a good response, actually. A lot of people appeared to enjoy what I was talking about, what Ralph was talking about. So if you guys are happy, then I guess we are happy. I am expecting Ralph. I think Ralph's just having some problems with his connection at this moment in time. So we just wait for him to sort it out. Meanwhile, there is an opportunity for you to call in. Yeah, a live call in. So we have integrated WhatsApp onto the platform. Let me know your thoughts about EBERECHI Eze and some comments from his manager. Also, kind of just chip in on the Alexander Isak situation, which seems to be getting from bad to worse. And also, there's going to be a game tomorrow. Yes, the game. What's the game? Arsenal versus Leeds. Leeds is actually my brother's second favorite team, believe that or not. But you know what? Let's kind of get into this one here. So let me remove this from here. Actually, no, we keep it up there. So as we know, over the last couple of days, Arsenal they hijacked Eze from the snatchers of Spurs. Thank goodness for that. Sorry, let me just add my brother in. He's having some problems. Oh, yeah, he's having some problems. So yes, in a £6 million deal with add-ons takes it up to 67.5 million. Good morning to you, Ralph. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Slightly. Let me put your mic. Give me a second.
Bear me a moment.
All right. Okay. Well, so while Ralph is sorting it out, I'll continue with the news. So yeah, like I was saying, in a £60 million deal with add-ons, we'll take it to 67.5. Actually, let me remove this so you can see it there. And actually, in actual fact, let me still trying to figure this out. It's been a while. It's been a while, people. It's been a while. So you're going to bear with me just a second. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we are. There we are. There we are. Let me kind of move the camera around so you can see me properly. I need to sort myself out. Sorry about that, people. So it was a deal worth £67 million. And yeah, so, you know, the manager, Crystal Palace, is not happy, actually. He's not happy so much insofar as, you know, Eze has left. But, you know, before I get into this, Ralph, can you hear me? Hello, Ralph.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Right, that's all I need to know. All right. Fantastic. All right. Let me just put it there like that, and there we go. So yeah, apparently his manager is not happy. So Glasner admitted that Palace knew there was a high possibility or high chance that Eze would leave this summer, and that we missed replacing him early. That's completely our fault and nobody else's fault. So yeah, so they've known for a while that there was a high possibility that, you know, Eze was going to leave, and they missed the chance so far because there is a week and a couple of days left to go until the transfer window closes. Ralph, your thoughts? Glasner is not happy that they've not found a replacement.
Well, let's put it this way. I think we was in, you know, we weren't in the same position, but I would imagine that when you've got a player of Eze's caliber, you'd want a replacement because Crystal Palace, they won the FA Cup for the first time in their history, didn't they, last season?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and also won the Charity Shield as well. So you would want to build on that success. Now, a player like Eze going in the way that he has gone, of course, the chairman's not going to be happy because he's looking to think who's going to come in. And the transfer
manager's not happy.
Window, so the manager, big part, the manager.
Yeah.
yeah, so the transfer window is getting shortened because all that time of speculation, and I think that he was going to sign for them down the road, and the turnaround on that, it means that you have to try and find a replacement. And I don't know. I don't know who's going to be out there or who is out there who can just step into Eze's shoes and take the team onto further honours potentially. So yeah, if I was the manager, I won't be happy. I won't be happy at all. I think
so.
It's a fair.
He's also gone on to say so that they've got to make sure they keep the other player that's been linked to a move away from Crystal Palace, and that's Mark Gay, the England international. I know Liverpool have tested the waters, not insofar as not as putting a bid there, but Glasner is saying literally, okay, we've got to make sure that we keep hold of Mark Gay. The chance of them keeping Mark Gay, probably 50-50. Liverpool, they do have, the sturdy back four, but they do need to improve their defensive line. So they've lost Eze. They're possibly going to lose a Mark Gay, top line defender. And I've seen him play a couple of times, and he is the real deal. And he possibly could fit into the plans for Liverpool. From Ralph.
Yeah. I've seen him play for England, and he is as solid as they come defender. So he can only improve Liverpool. I mean, as if Liverpool needs to improve anyway, but you know what I mean. He's a solid defender, and I don't see. Crystal Palace will have to pay him, but again, this is the other thing as well. If a player wants to go, it's no point keeping him.
Yeah,
it's no point keeping him. You have to make sure you get the right money for him as well. But that's those two players going, to me, that's like four players really, the worth that they are to Crystal Palace, because I don't know who's going to want to walk into Crystal Palace and try and fill Eze's shoes or Mark Gay's. So I wouldn't want to be a Crystal Palace fan, to be honest, at this moment in time. I would be vexed. I would be vexed.
Well, the owner actually at Crystal Palace, I forgot his name. He did say, the king has gone. Long live the king. We're going to make sure that we just replace him with other players, and he's right, because I'll use Liverpool as an example. So when Kevin Keegan left, they were thinking, oh my God, who's going to come in and play? And they got Dalglish, so players come and go. No player will remain, obviously, at one club forever, because forever is a long time. But they will find a way. And Glasner is a good manager. I saw literally last night on the YouTube that Mateta scored historic goal, an historic win, their first win in Europe, Ralph. Doesn't matter whether it's the Conference League or the Europa League or Champions League, actually. When you're in that league, in that competition in Europe, you go out and you do the business. And they won 1-0. I can't remember the name of the opposition. Is it Fredericks? I can't remember the name of the opposition. But the most important thing is they've gone out there, they scored a goal, they secured their first win in Europe, Ralph. So well done to Palace. Not the Palace, the Eagles. They're called the Eagles, aren't they? Yeah.
The Eagles, Super Eagles.
Eagles. Next thing I want to give you.
Actually, you say.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
No, I was just to elaborate on the point. When you was talking about Liverpool in the 70s, and Keegan went, and it was a furore who's going to step in. Douglas coming from Celtic. You know what I mean? So he had big boots to fill, but he was a prolific goal scorer anyway. So whoever comes into Crystal Palace, defender or midfielder, attacker, they have to come in and they have to hit the ground running. I don't think there'll be any kind of lull period because of the momentum that Palace have been on so far in their journey. You know what I mean? So yeah, big boots to fill, but I'm sure they'll continue anyway, because they're they're a good team.
Yeah. So Ralph, I'm not sure if we've spoken in depth about the situation with Alexander Isak. Just comparing both the players, how Eze left. You can't please everyone, and I imagine there's going to be some sections of Crystal Palace fan base not going to be happy how Eze is left, because again, a little bit of news that I read last night is that he called his manager and said, "You know what, boss, I don't feel well to play," so that's why he didn't play last night in this European conference game. But you're looking at the furthest part of the spectrum, Ralph, with Alexander Isak. He's down tools. He's refused to play. I think he actually went out to train in his former club's training grounds, and he did come up with a statement. He's claiming that the club made a promise. They've broken their promise. So he says, well, once the promise is broken, the relationship is broken, and the best thing for both parties, I'm just paraphrasing here, he said, the best thing is we part ways. I have seen that Alan Shearer has said that he would welcome Alexander Isak back, but surely there's no way back, Ralph, is there, for Alexander Isak?
You see, the Gyökeres did the same, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
All this gentleman's agreement is a load of BS, because you can't have a gentleman's agreement at this level of negotiations when you come into a club, when you're increasing or wanting to have your salary increase. I don't like the fact that people try to use examples for their jobs and anything else. We're talking about elite sportsmen, so let's take it for in the arena that it is. You have an agent, okay? You have a contract. We've spoken about this many times before. That we said that how contracts are only legal and binding up to a point when the player decides that he wants to change tack, or when the clubs decide to change course. At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. But if you're saying how you had a gentleman's agreement, there's no proof. It's only hearsay. What he says and what the club says, two different things. But if it's in black and white, you can hold it up and say, right, this is what the club has said and promised, and they haven't done that. So this is the reason why I'm going. So all the fans are can think, they can come to their own conclusions. But if you've got the physical proof to say, look, this is what I signed up to, and they've gone this way, then most fans will say, well, fair point, we can't argue. So the gentleman's agreement totally shouldn't even be a consideration. The next part of it is being professional. Go on.
Yeah, so I saw an interview with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and he kind of did the same thing, although, I think he was playing for Leeds. I think he wanted to stay at Leeds, but something happened, and he ended up going to Middlesbrough. So what he's saying is that he understands that Alexander Isak is a nice person, and this is very out of character. So something must have happened. Something must have been said for him to be, acting so much out of character. But you're right. I think, at that level, Ralph, with that amount of money, with an elite athlete in Alexander Isak, top quality, helped Newcastle win their first trophy in 70 odd years, I think.
Yeah.
How can you not have a contract or an agreement in black and white, Ralph? How can you not have it down on paper? It's just ridiculous.
Well, I think the meat and bone of the contract. Again, we're not privy to what either side will say, because both sides are right and both sides are wrong. You know what I mean? But the most substantial part is you're employed by the club, and the club, we've seen it, countless times. The club, when it decides to let go of a player, it lets go of a player, and the player has no say if the club or the manager, the new manager comes in, he doesn't want the fans' favourite, loss of form, whatever it is. So you become very protective around your bubble, around what you want to do. You're coming up to the last year of your contract. You talk to the club. You talk to to your manager. Yeah, don't worry. We get things sorted by the summer. And then when that window starts narrowing, you start looking at your options.
Mm.
And when you start looking at your options, then you think, you know what? Actually, the best option is Liverpool, and Liverpool comes in with a bid. Then you think, well, if my club is not going to pay me any more money or give me an increase, then I pack my bags and it's time to leave. But then the club can say, well, hang a minute now, let's just try and calm things down. Let's try and do this and do things in the right way. But the window is narrowing, and your choice of options are narrowing as well. So he's down tools. He said, no, you know what, Germans agreement, blah, blah, blah. I don't think for all the furore that it's caused that you can come back to the same environment and continue to play, because fans are vivacious. You know what I mean? We've got fans who've got long memories. You know what I mean? We've got long memories, and for Arsenal, you can talk about Fabregas and Van Persie and Adebayor and everybody else. You know what I mean? But we can be forgiving if the facts and the truth is up front, but then we can be unforgiving if there's any kind of misleading or lies told. So, but I don't think it's good practice to down tools, but we've seen it happen, and we've benefited from it, and we've lost from it. So it seems to be just that modern way of trying to force an exit or an entry.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow there's going to be a game, second week actually of the Premier League, and insofar as the Arsenal sphere, we're playing against Leeds United, Ralph's second favourite club. I was just checking the stats, Ralph, and the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 6 meetings, Arsenal have beaten Leeds. Once in the League Cup, and the rest has been in the Premier League. But Daniel Farke was, I think, the manager of Norwich. He's now the manager of Leeds. Your prediction, Ralph, what are your thoughts on this? There we go, and we've lost him at that time. So it probably gives me the opportunity to go into the live chat whilst he sorts out his Wi-Fi again. So Guna John, good morning. Says easy like a Sunday morning. Someone is in a pretty good mood this morning. There's no such thing as a gentleman's agreement. Well, there is, if people stick to the gentleman's agreement. But when, again, like I said to Ralph, when you are dealing with those numbers, when you're dealing with the elite, when you're dealing with a business the size of that, why are you going to leave it to a gentleman's agreement? Put it down on paper and pen, surely, so you don't get to the point where what you're saying, right, okay, you said, no, I didn't say that, no, yes you did, and you arrived at this point. Again, the numbers, the player is an elite player. He's proved it with his numbers. And it's not little, a 2-tin cup company or business. It's Newcastle United. So yeah, I just find it, very, very strange. Ralph, you're back.
Yeah, we've frozen, so I've gone on my phone now. So hopefully we can see this out.
Okay, so yeah, I was asking you about Leeds United versus Arsenal, Arsenal versus Leeds United.
Yeah, my second team. Although it's really far removed, really. I mean, I only have a partial vested interest through players from the seventies, really. Leeds were, I think, when Leeds were in the Premiership before they went down, quite a few years back. They were a bit of a dodgy, well, not dodgy. They were a tough fixture, especially at Ellen Road. So I'm not sure what the metrics or what the last encounters were with us against them, but I think we may have just edged it or drawn a
Well,
couple of games.
so,
So
shall I give you? I'll give you the stats. Yeah. So
yes,
let's
please.
go for the last four Premier League games. So so April 2023, we were playing at home. We beat them 4-1. Then 2022, we played at Ellen Road. We beat them 1-0. Then 2021, still in the Premier League, we beat them 4-1. Then in the League Cup 2021, again, we beat them 2-0. And then if we go one game before the League Cup, which was February 2021, we beat them 4-2. So pretty much, I think I can see how this one is going to go. I cannot see how Leeds will beat or even draw with Leeds United.
Yeah, I think if you see, this is the thing. We do get a bit above ourselves. Yeah, we should beat them. We should. You know, they just come up. It's a new season for them in the Premiership. Second match. I said I in the last meeting that we had online that they looked a bit of a handful against Everton. Everton is no joke team, really. So to beat them at home, that Leeds had the upper hand. But I think it was a penalty, but it wasn't a penalty from what I saw. The defender was the shot was deflected, and he was leaning, and the ball hit him top part of the shoulder. I don't know what handball is anymore. You know, they seem to change it every so often. Um, but there is a there is a conspiracy that I don't want to go into this, but it just makes me wary because when it comes to VAR, we have if we're at home, we have to beat this team convincingly. There can't be no um, luck or anything like that because I think that luck will go against us rather sharpish if we go with the attitude that we're just gonna steamroll the team. I think that's where we may come a cropper. We have to be very methodical, clinical, and if Gorka is playing, I'm not sure what the lineup will be, but if he's going to be playing, then this could be the team that he can start feeling his way into. Actually, you're saying that he should be scoring about 25 goals for the season
Minimum. Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
So he should start opening his account tomorrow. But we can't be giving the referee any slight indication or VAR indication because it could set up very easily in that way, and then it'll frustrate us and the team.
Ralph,
So
can I just
that's
ask
my
this quick question, Ralph? So um, a lot of the pundits have been saying, well, the reason why Arsenal, lost the Premier League, well, for me, they were never going to win it, was because we drew too many games. And a lot of the teams now play in a low block. I mean, low block. With a low defensive line, so
yeah.
middle of the field towards the 18-yard line. That's the area where the teams will sit back. But what's going to be different now? How are Arsenal going to overcome that low block? I mean, surely they should look to utilize Gyökeres's height and try and cross the ball rather than just try and play through the lines. But there's no lines there. There's no space because teams play in a low block. How do you think Arsenal are going to overcome that, Ralph?
That's a good question. I think that The thing that I loved about Arsenal way back when we played with pace, teams didn't know how to defend. So we can be a very pacey team. Not recently, but within the last couple of years back, when we come against teams that are low block, we are very pedestrian. We don't have any kind of urgency. We don't have a player to at least have a go running through those low blocks. We don't have a creative. We say we've got a creative midfielder, but we don't have a Santi Cazorla type midfielder who can unlock those blocks. You know,
Mm, mm.
so I think it's going to be pretty much more of the same. It won't surprise me if we do go for trying to create something from crosses, but then it can be for me as a defender, when I was a defender.
He wasn't a defender. He
Um,
was a midfielder. I was a defender.
you was a defender, but
Yeah.
I started off as a midfielder, but then when you start noticing that your pace is not as pace as it should be, you start going into a defender. So I end up
Start
becoming a
going
central
backwards. Yeah.
defender. But I was very good in the air. I was very good in the air, and I could read the game. So I liked tall strikers because you know how you can defend against them. It's the strikers who are your same height or slight. They're smaller but very technical. Those are the ones that I didn't like because you had to read the game really quick. You had to intercept, and you know that if you're there too late, then that's it. You're gone. You know.
Mm,
So
mm.
for Gyökeres, he's 6 foot, isn't he? I think he's about 6'2".
6'3", I think 6'2", 6'3".
So if you're going to do the aerial battle, we have to put it on the plate for him. So it means that the likes of whoever's going to be in, if it's going to be Saka, for example, he can't be too predictable going, right, left. He's going to have to, as soon as he gets the space, he has to like whip that cross in.
Mm,
He
mm.
has to target Gyökeres, and Gyökeres would do the rest.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's I'm just hoping that we'll feed into him. The game will start getting more frustrating the more that the low block becomes successful,
Yeah.
and we don't have anyone to unlock it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. All right. Before we go to the live chat, I've seen some comments are kind of litting up a little bit. So later on this evening, I'll be back live again on the Easy Talk. I'm looking quite sharp there with my formal clothes. 7 p.m. UK time. That is. We're gonna have the original Godfather, Eltel. We're gonna have Prosper and another person. I don't think Ralph will be coming on the Easy Talk.
Okay.
you coming on Easy Talk?
Thanks for the invite.
Anyway, Easy Talk, 7 p.m. Still the #1 show on Channel 4 TV. We are back. Not sure how long for, but the show I did last night, rather belatedly, an hour late. I saw a lot of the old followers in the live chat, so that kind of made me feel good. Unfortunately, Ralph couldn't make it because he was in bed by then. But yeah.
Yes. I have to look after this. So
all right, let's go into the live chat. So yes, let's start by saying John Gunnar saying easy like a Sunday morning.
I can see
There's no
that's going to
such
be
thing as
one
a
of the
gentleman's
headlines.
agreement. And I was saying before you went off, Ralph, because you lost. I think you're frozen out.
Yeah.
There is such thing as a gentleman's agreement. There is, but it doesn't work when the agreement breaks down, and then you get into a situation where you say, "Well, you said that." No, I didn't say that, because it's all verbal, isn't it? A gentleman's agreement
Yeah.
is a verbal agreement with a handshake.
Yeah.
But there is
Yeah.
such thing as a gentleman's agreement. Sorry, I've gone.
I was going to say that the only honourable thing about a gentleman's agreement is that there's both sides are honourable, but sometimes that person can if you've how can I put this, if you've one up them, then the gentleman's agreement disappears,
Yeah,
because it's like it becomes a bit of an insult. You've gone beyond what is the gentleman, and what is it? What is the gentleman agreement? You want to be honourable in your dealings, but it doesn't really guarantee the fact that somebody can be nefarious in in their dealings. You know what I mean? So it's only as honourable as the people that's in it.
yeah. Another. I think it sounds like a song to me. I know it sounds funny, but I just can't take the pain, Spurs. I'm leaving you tomorrow. I wonder why it is that. Good matters. Good afternoon to you. He says, good
Good
afternoon, the Lee
afternoon.
brothers. Thank you for that. Got feeling sorry for Isak. He's been held prisoner on $500,000 a week. Is there some sarcasm in there, isn't it, Ralph?
I think maybe just underlying tones there somewhere.
Morning at least. And then Gunamata says, Ralph, I totally agree. As I said on the Easy Talk last week, I would not have continued with Victor Gokares if I was in charge, because of the down tools. I have to keep the same energy. So yeah, like you said, he's basically did the same thing to force a move to Arsenal, innit?
Yeah,
But we've
yeah,
taken him.
yeah. And let's just put the scenario in. So 2-3 seasons down the line, potentially we've won the Premiership, we've won the Champions League, um, and we wanted to replace Gyökeres with an up and coming young player through the academy. But Gyökeres says, "Oh, hang a minute now. You know what? I've still got another year on my contract." Negotiations. He decides to down tools, or he decides to be awkward, as it were. The way that he came in, we had a player called Adebayor who had a history of doing those kind of things. Successful, great goal scorer, but at the end he reverted back to type. So my concern is how you come. I mean, he was blatant that he wants to join Arsenal, and he made all kinds of statements and everything else. I like players who want to come to play for the club, but there's a certain way of doing something. I know that we are desperate for a striker. We have to be very careful that the way we get a striker in that kind of tone, in that kind of way, we shouldn't be shocked if he was to go, or go to another club in that kind of way as well. I'm not, I don't think he is that dishonourable. Maybe there was something more to it than we can see, but it just, for me, it just doesn't sit right with me. If I have to be totally honest, it doesn't sit right with me.
Mm.
I'm glad that he's there, and hopefully his actions will speak louder than the words.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of work to do, to be honest. Let's just see, has there been any other comments? No, it was just me just saying good morning back to Guna Matters and Guna John. I'm just posting actually predictions for tomorrow. So, oops. So, if you have time, if you want to, you don't have to. Let us know your predictions for tomorrow. Arsenal versus Leeds. It's going to be a 5:30 kickoff. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Arsenal. There you go.
2-1.
Yeah. You sound surprised. What's wrong, man?
I'm
What's
just
wrong?
thinking that I think that our defense would be rather annoyed if they allowed Leeds to score. I'm going to go 3-0 win.
3-0. All right.
Yeah.
Good amount has said, I've already done my prediction. And what's your prediction then? What's your prediction?
It's pushing the point.
All right, yeah, 2-0 Arsenal win. Gokares brace.
Oh,
Oh,
that's interesting.
wow. Okay, you know what? I think I'm not sure whether you saw the beginning of the show, Guna Matters. I was talking about Arsenal facing a lot of teams now who play in the low block. You know, we've got these players who play intricately between the lines. That's when there's space. But you know, I imagine Daniel Fark will probably come up with another low block. And how do we overcome that? So 2-0, okay, right, fair enough. I'm going to stick with my 2-1 win for the Arsenal. Carl, good morning, Carl. I hope you are well. I think maybe you're not well because you still want Alexander Isak. He says, too early, go to work. This is my work.
I'm off.
And he
he's
says,
come up.
Arsenal to lose, Ralph, 4-0.
Yeah, that's Carl being Carl, isn't it? You know what? I like to meet him. I know you met him and his partner, but I'm not gonna. The season started, so I'm not gonna go to bed with the enemy. So Carl, carry on, mate. You carry on with your 4-0. But much respect anyway. I hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, Good Matt says, I think Eze, like Sunday morning, will break that low block. I have a scenario how to break the low block. But let us know. If you want, you can call in. Call in and let us know, Good Matters. You know, we've integrated WhatsApp. So if you have a few minutes to spare, give us a quick call. And, just tell us how you believe Arsenal can overcome the low block by using Eze. And the other thing as well, I've been seeing over the last couple of days, Ralph, does Eze go straight into the 11? Does he go straight in?
I think he would want to, wouldn't he? It's down to Arteta now, isn't it? How would?
Does he start? Is he an instant start?
I think he would want to. I think he would want to start him.
Do you reckon?
You
Yeah.
would, wouldn't you? What would be the point of trying to ease him in, or would you have him on the bench and have him come in on the second half?
Well, I'm asking you. You know more about football than I do.
Oh wow! I would the team that played last week, keep the team that played last week because they won, but introduce Eze in the second half. Give him a I suppose give him about like 30 minutes, 40 minute run out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. See what he can do. Again, depending if the low block if Leeds is 0-0 at half time, then put Eze on.
Right. Okay. Gunamat is asking which number to call in. Well, I've just put the number on the screen. That's the number. The number you have saved from whenever we've spoken in the past. That's the number you can call in on Guna Matters and let us know your thoughts, how you believe Arsenal can overcome the low block if Leeds go that way. Let's have a look and see what's happened with the poll I've just put out over the last couple of moments about predictions. Arsenal versus Leeds. I'm going for a 2-1 win for the Arsenal. All right, so there's not been any... No one's voted just yet. Everyone's just still awake. Still asleep. Let me remove this. Okay, I think we'll run for another couple more minutes. Go through these last few comments. Right. Okay, Ralph. So, whoops.
Oh, we've got a call.
Let's see if can it come in. Guna Matters. Yeah, we're fine. Ralph, can you hear Guna Matters, Ralph?
I can't hear him. I can hear it muffled in the background.
Hello, Ralph. How are you doing?
I'm good, Gunnar. You okay? I just about here can make you out. I think we need a sound booster.
I don't think you can hear me.
Well,
Oh,
I
that's
can hear.
better.
I can hear. Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
You're the actually. Is Gunnar Matters the
no,
first?
I'm not sure. We've struggled on the left side, as we all know, for so many years. And with Eze coming in, Zubomendi coming in, we've got a striker now in the like 6 foot plus. And we've got a very good attacking left-sided left back. Both Californian and Miles Lewis Scanning. So if you get Eze in there, very tricky player. He's not a left wing by trade. He's a left-sided midfielder. He pushed into the center. Rice goes to double pivot with Zubomendi. Your left wings, or left backs, they go on the outside, will pull that defender. And Eze goes through the centre back pair and Bob's your uncle, you know what I mean? Or you lay off a ball for a overlapping left back and give a cross into Jokerit. And then again, there's another option, and the same for the other side, because Saka is so predictable coming into the pocket.
Yeah.
Whereby he's going to use his left foot, and with Ben White on the overlap, same scenario. So that is how we've done it on the right hand side, but the left hand side, and Eze is the key here, because Eze is the one that will drop the shoulder and he will go into the midfield. Go into the centre back pair, and it will give Jokeres and whoever else up front all those other options to also run into the pocket. So that low block should be able to be broken when we have that Eze on the left side of 8 or left 10, whatever you want to call it, with the overlapping left back, because we have not had that since Tierney and Xhaka played. Even with Xhaka being at left back, that happened quite often, and we've seemed to lose that sort of flair in our left side.
Guna Matters, just a couple of points. I think I read somewhere that Victor Gyökeres, he's not the greatest header of the ball. The majority of his goals has come inside the 18-yard box, but the numbers of headers scored from his head is not that great. So you're talking about having players overlapping and crossing the ball in for Victor, but he's not the striker to score goals with his head.
Well, there's no rule that you have to cross a ball in the air. There's no rule of that. I mean, I've been playing left back, right back. I've been playing left wing, right wing. So there is no rule to say that you have to cross a ball in the air. And ironically, his first goal for Arsenal was with a head from a cross from Zubomendi. And also scored in that same game, also another cross from Noni Madueke, also half volley, header, whatever. So if we give him those balls, he's a striker, but he knows the width of the poles, he knows the height of the poles. So he has to judge himself how he's going to do that. As long as we give him the chances, and that will give the opportunity for us to break those blocks.
Right. Is Eze an instant start? Does he start on Saturday for you? Or
yes, he's in my team. He starts on Saturday, because Martinelli and Trossard is not going to give you from the start what we need. Eze is going to give you that. He's ready. He has played. He's trained throughout the season. He had a good pre-season. All we need to do is just give him a couple of runs, But for me, he should start. I mean, we don't go spend £67 million on a player whereby he's going to sit on the bench and come in only in the Liverpool game. No, that's too late. He needs to get into these low blocks teams all due respect to Leeds, but he's got to come into these teams on next week when we play Liverpool. He has to be ready.
Right. Okay. And last question. So Eze in, who comes out from the guys who play on the left? Leandro Trossard, Martinelli, Madueke. Who makes space for?
Martinelli is ahead of Trossard anyway, so he's coming out.
Right. Okay. Okay. Ralph, any questions for Gunnar Matters before we?
No, I was going to say pretty much the same thing about Eze. I would have preferred. I would rather keep the same team to try and gather some momentum and speed up their play. And if Leeds, as I would imagine, I think Leeds will just come out firing anyway because they feel they've got nothing else to lose. I don't think they're a low block. I don't think they're a low block.
Yeah,
But if they do low block, and it's 0-0 at half time, I'd rather use Eze to come off the bench to stir things up than for him to start. And I don't think he will tire, but if he gets frustrated or if the tactics are not suitable, then I think we've lost the element of surprise. I'd rather hold Eze back a bit, just let the team that won last week try and figure out about these low blocks because we've got a striker now.
Okay.
Then that's what I would prefer to do.
Yeah, Gunnar Matters, you want to say something?
Yeah, there's a worry when that's not there, and I get your point. Maybe for the element of surprise, but there is some things that we've seen last week. Yes, it is a Man United team they actually pinned us down. It's not Arsenal played bad and were frustrated with how United pressed us. So going into with Martinelli or Trossard and the way Leeds played against Everton last week, they don't give you that opportunity to turn the ball or to first take a touch and then lay off the ball. We need to be on the front foot. We need to pin them back. We are at home. You said it earlier, Ralph.
Yeah.
That we need to kill teams comfortably at home. And Leeds coming into the Premier League for this season, yes, they're going to come and try and hit us. We've never won us in the last 7-8 games. So we have to maintain that record whereby, yes, it is maybe frustration whereby the tactics might not work. But being the tactician in himself as a player has shown so many promise, even in the England team with a different manager.
Yeah.
He's shown that he can adapt to professional players, and that's it's like muscle memory.
Yeah.
So I think we need to get up in their faces and kill them. I mean, they need to realize that with their tails between their legs, go back to Ellen Road and
Gunnar Matters, before you go, I've seen some pundits talking about Eze's presence in the team means competition for Martin Ødegaard because Eze can play in that number 10 role. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, for sure, because Martin has to obviously step up now. In my opinion, Eze can overtake him, and being an English player with Rice, Saka, and possibly Ben White in the England team, it will be a phenomenal situation for Thomas Tuchel. So Eze has the ability to kick Ødegaard off the team. But as we know, Mr. Arteta, it's like his love child, you know what I mean?
He's the club captain. Gunnar Matters, listen, thank you for being the first caller to call in on the channel. And also thank you for coming on last week on Easy Talk. I know you've got other things doing this Friday. but definitely we'll get you back. And maybe if you're available next week Friday on the Easy Talk.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll probably be, but we'll confirm it as we go through.
No problem. Listen,
thanks for answering.
No problem. Listen, thank you. Have a great day, and say hello to your family from me. Take care.
Same there.
Take care, Gunnar.
Nice seeing you on the Easy Talk tonight again.
Take care.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
man.
Bye.
All the best.
So there you have it. The first caller using integrated WhatsApp on the channel. We're almost done here. Ralph, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up this one?
No. Well, no. Yes. I got to send out a couple of shout outs. One to Simon Perkins. He's a gooner, and we travelled with work to other places, and he's helped me out a lot. So Simon, this is special love out to you. And also to Kathy. Kathy is a Liverpool fan, and I have to give her special props as well because she's wonderful, and we have this, really good banter between the two of us. And we were talking about the England women as well, who won the Euros during the summer. So it's all looking good. And also, we also got an Arsenal woman player who won the Player of the Year, I think it was, or a young player. I'm not sure, it's young player. I think she was the Player of the Year award. I don't know her name. It came up on my feed, and I should have written it down. But fantastic effort. I love Chloe Kelly as well. Amazing, and glad that she signed up for us as well. So it's all looking good for the women, the youngsters. Max Downing, keep it going. And yeah, that's it. But special shout out to Simon and Kathy. Thanks very much, guys.
Fantastic. So with that said and done, I will be back, I think, with Ralph later on this evening for the Easy Talk, 7 p.m. That's GMT local time. We'll be joined by the original Godfather himself, Eltel, Prosper, and of course my brother Ralph. Until then, thank you so very much. It's been watching the numbers there. A lot of people just coming back in on the channel. Yes, we are back. Are Arsenal back? Are Arsenal back? We have to wait and see. It's done when it's done. Until then, thank you very much, and I shall see you at 7 p.m. GMT time. Take care. Bye-bye.